Good afternoon, everybody. Thank you for joining us today on the Dade County Weekly Update. Remember, you can type in your questions in the comments section during the live update. If you don't want to ask your question during the live update, you can always email us at info@dadecounty-ga.gov. Thanks for coming to the right place for the right information. Today, we will have Mayor Alex Case, who is also our EMA Director for Dade County, Alison Henderson with Dade County 4-H. I will be talking to you about the census, and then Dade County Executive Ted Rumley. Remember, if you know somebody who would be interested in hearing from any of our guests today, go ahead and invite them to watch this live broadcast or start a watch party so you can hold your own discussions. Remember that you can also watch this later on Facebook or YouTube, and sharing links to our videos is super easy. We'll go ahead and get started with Alison Henderson with Dade County 4-H.
Good afternoon. I'm Alison Henderson, the 4-H educator for Dade County, and I just came on to remind everybody that our first community club meeting will be this coming Tuesday. It's for 4th grade through 12th grade. The registration forms can be picked up either at the Ag Center or at the Dade County Public Library. They are partnering with us this year to do community club, so they have forms there as well. If you're going to sign up ahead of time for Tuesday's meeting and you want to get the activity kit that has supplies for our mystery challenge, then you need to register by tomorrow because they need to get those activity kits made up. So don't forget, tomorrow is the last day to register for this month. We'll be doing this every 4th Tuesday of the month. And this is the type of things we'll be doing. We'll be doing, of course, our mystery challenge where we're going to build something together. It may or may not involve food. We're also going to be talking about community service projects that students can work on in small groups at other times. We'll be talking about DPA because it's time to get started on your portfolios if you're going to do DPA this year. We'll be talking about when would be a good time for Forestry Club and Science Club to meet. So if you're at the community club meeting on Tuesday, then you're going to be one of the ones helping to decide when all of this is going to take place. So don't forget, Tuesday at 5:30. It is a Zoom meeting for now. Once things open back up, we'll start meeting more in person. The library does have room for up to 5 families to meet in person in their meeting room. So the first 5 that sign up and say they want to come in person can do so at the library. I believe that's everything. Yes. So the main thing to remember is tomorrow is the last day to register to get your activity kit. You pick those up at the library, then you take them home. This will be a Zoom meeting. We'll email you the Zoom link, and then we'll all do our mystery challenge together.
I am going to talk with you about the census for a moment. And somebody had the great idea, I think it was Don Nix, had the great idea and suggestion that we actually talk about what questions are on the census for those of you who might be a little worried about giving out too much information on the census. Just so you know, your cell phone, if you're like me, you have your cell phone with you at all times. Your cell phone does far more tracking on you than the U.S. Census. So a couple of differences. The U.S. Census is so important that our founding fathers put it in Article 1 of the Constitution, and today is Constitution Day, in case you didn't know, so that's a wonderful bit of trivia. But our founding fathers thought this so important that it is in actually the very first article of the Constitution. So the census is a mandate. Our cell phones are a tool that we use. So cell phones track, they use apps. If you have apps on your phone, they track you, they sell that information to other people. It's part of what they do. The census cannot share your information with any other department in the United States or any other business. So your information that you give to the census is 100% classified information. They're not going to share that. In fact, information about you will not even come out for about 75 years, and that's for the purpose of like ancestry and DNA and stuff like that. So here are the actual questions that are on the census. Question number 1, how many people were living or staying in your home, your apartment, mobile home, or house on April 1st, 2020? So you'll count everybody living or sleeping in your home. And why they ask that question is it helps count the entire U.S. population and ensures that we count people where they live most of the time as of Census Day, which is April the 1st. Question number 2, were there any additional people staying here on April 1st, 2020 that you did not include in question 1? And the reason they ask that is the goal of the 2020 census is to count everyone just once and in the right place. We want to ensure that everyone in your home who should be counted is counting, including newborns, roommates, and those who may be staying with you temporarily. Question 3, is this a house, apartment, or a mobile home? And is it owned by you or someone in the household? The reason they ask this question is it helps produce statistics about home ownership and renting. The rates of home ownership serve as one indicator of the nation's economy. They also help with administering housing programs, planning, and decision making. Question 4, what's your telephone number? The reason they ask that question is in case the Census Bureau has any questions, they can give you a call just to make sure that all of your information is correct. Question 5, what is person 1's name? So why they ask that question, the Census Bureau asks a series of questions about each member of your household, and it allows them to establish one central figure as a starting point. Question number 6, what is the gender of person number 1? And the reason they ask that question, it says this allows us to create statistics about males and females, which can be used in planning and funding government programs. This data can also be used to enforce laws, regulations, and policies against discrimination. Question 7, what is person number 1's age and their date of birth? The reason they ask this question, it says the U.S. Census Bureau creates statistics to better understand the size and characteristics of different age groups. Agencies use this data to plan and fund government programs that support specific age groups, including children and older adults. Question number 8, what is the person's race? And the reason they ask this question is it allows, again, to create those statistics, and the data helps federal agencies monitor compliance with anti-discrimination provisions such as those in the Voting Rights Act and the Civil Rights Act. Questions 10 and on are talking about the other people in the household, so print the name of person number 2 and their age. How is that person related to person number 1? So those are all the questions in the census. That just took less than 2 minutes to explain. It would take you about 3 to 5 minutes to fill out your census today for everybody in your household, and we encourage you to do that by calling 1-888-330-2020 so you can fill out your census. I'll put that information in the comments so you can see that, or you can go to our website at dadecounty-ga.gov, and there's a link right there on the page to fill out your census from our website. So please make sure to fill out your census at my2020census.gov or call that 800 number to fill out your census today.
Good afternoon, everyone. I'm Alex Case, Mayor here for the City of Trenton, and also your Director of Emergency Services here for Dade County. And thank you all for tuning in today to listen to some information that we have. And as Carey just explained, we were at a meeting today, and I talked with our regional commission, and census was a question that was brought up. A lot of us talked about it, and we're all sitting in the same boat from all the 14 different counties and the other cities that's there. It's a big concern for all of us as the numbers are in the mid-50s and low 50s, and where we stand as a state and as a nation, and hopefully that will be resolved. But please take that time, 3 minutes, 10 questions, as easy as you just heard there, to do that as well. This past Monday, the City Commission met. We had our last hearing for our 2020 millage rate, which we set at 4.98 mills. And we also passed our 2021 budget for general fund and for our sewer department. That information is available at City Hall. Again, we meet the second Monday of every month, and great work by the commission and department heads to make that work with the increases that we did see through other things. So it's a great working relationship that we work hard to keep and strive to be there. Again, continue practicing your social distancing and your mask in areas that is required, as you will hear the updates later from Executive Rumley. As the numbers are still moving, we are seeing a lot more testing is happening, and we've talked about this. As more testing happens, more numbers come in, and we see that daily. So please just continue to practice those distances, keep your hands washed, sanitized. You're also going to see new sanitizing stations throughout our public buildings of Dade County. Director Stacy Stevens with Parks, our sports complex, has got 4 of them. He's been putting them out throughout the park. You'll see it's a metal stand that's got a gallon jug in it, and it's got a foot pedal. It's got a yellow foot pedestal. So you just come up, use your foot, hold your hand out, and get your sanitation for certain areas. So be looking for them around the county parks, all of our county public buildings. Library has theirs now. We're fixing to keep distributing them as we're continuing to use funding of the CARES funding to get our buildings better prepared for the public to come in and for the employees that help the public. We'll start construction soon at our courts facility and our administration building for that purpose, and so please bear with us, and we will give you up-to-date times when that will happen. Another note, this weekend our volunteer fire departments will be doing some Saturday evening training. We will be at the Dade County High School facility. It'll be in the gravel parking lot behind the weight room training facility and beside the practice field. We're going to be doing propane levee simulations. The Fire Academy has sent several classes up. A lot of our training division had scheduled one. It got rescheduled due to the COVID, and they're coming up. This will simulate, as a lot of us in our rural areas have the outside propane tanks. We either have the 120 gallons at upright, or you have the ones that set long ways, and sometimes if it happens, and it was to say we have a house fire or the line is cut and that raw gas is ignited, or it gets so hot that it boils, that it blows off, and it's been called a levee. So we will be doing classwork at the Trenton Fire Station in our training facility classroom that afternoon, and then in the nighttime after we have dinner, we'll be doing propane simulation levees where you have to train to walk up to it properly, and you get up there and you actually turn the thing off while it's blowing gas. But this is in a controlled simulation that the Fire Academy is bringing that tool up to us. It's on a trailer system, and the gas company that we buy the gas from will be helping us with a discounted rate for this training to help these volunteers learn in case this happens. We had it up here years ago, and we're glad to get it back up here to give better training for these folks that stop their lives and their families to go out and help our taxpayers, our visitors, and our people in need. As a saying you hear and you see on a lot of the volunteer departments, it's protect life and property. Life is always that most important thing, and then our property is protecting our homes and our vehicles and our property from house fires to wrecks to the visitors we have in the canyon when people get hurt. New Salem does a lot of that. Westboro had another one not long ago when people were hiking these trails. Again, it's this time of the year when people are out moving more as the temperature's cooling down, our trails are getting busier. And always let somebody know where you're at as well. But just watch for that training. You're going to see a lot of fire, and especially being at night, it's going to be glowing up. So everybody in Edgewood, Glenbrook, Rosewood, and if you're on the mountain looking down, you're going to see it. So be advised there's plenty of water there, and this is a training simulation. So again, if there's any other questions for me, my number is 423-718-2111. Trenton City Hall is 706-657-4167. Have a great afternoon.
Good afternoon. Hope everyone is well today. Turned out to be a beautiful day and going to be a beautiful weekend. Good time to get out and enjoy Dade County. Do have some things to discuss with you before I go into our numbers. Real quick on Lookout Lake Dam's going great. They'll be pouring concrete out there tomorrow all the way through next week. Hopefully in the next couple of weeks you'll start seeing us start putting some dirt back down on the road and building the road bed back and getting it ready to pave. So we're getting closer and closer. Things are going real well out there. We had Robert and I had a trip yesterday. We went out to Rainsville, Alabama, out there, and actually went into their storm shelters that was built back after the tornadoes, the deadly tornadoes out there years ago. And the same company, Alex was going with us. He had it set up, but he had an emergency out on the mountain on one of our towers, so he didn't get to go with us. But now, Alex, these are going to be the same contractor, and these are the same shelters that we'll be receiving, from what I understand. And I just sent some pictures to Carey there. She'll be putting them online later on, where you can kind of get an idea of inside of what it's going to look like. And it really surprised me. I mean, there's nothing beautiful about them, but they're solid concrete, top, bottom. They're built to take a 250-mile-an-hour wind, and it's just amazing, how clean and everything is inside of them. It's really a nice facility, and it'll not only be a nice facility, like this for a storm shelter, but there can be meetings or anything left on these things. They're really nice. These were attached, actually. They were built right after the tornado, as I said, but they were attached to the school out there. I think it was Plainview, I believe, the school. And they would hold, I think, 360 people at one time. And like I said, it's going to be really an asset to our communities. Hopefully, after we get these 3 built that we're going to build, we can find some other property in these other communities to build more of these shelters. That's one of the big holdbacks, is actually the shelters have got to be on government-owned land. Alex has explained that, and I have too over the past. They can't be owned by a community or whatever. It's got to be either government or the school government. So, but anyway, it was pretty interesting. Like I said, we brought back some pictures we shared with you online, and then we'll talk a little bit about it in our next commission meeting too. I'll have Alex come in, and we'll know a little bit more about it, because we did issue the PO number to the company, right, Alex? Sure. Yesterday, I think it was. So we're in line. We're in line for these things, so it's going to happen. This located worker grant, as we talk about every week, that's still going on. If you've been actually damaged or anything, if it's affected you due to COVID-19 in any way in your job, come in and see Paula Stallings. You can reach her here at 657-4625 and come in and talk to her, because she's helped a lot of people. A lot of people have come in and still coming in, talking, and she's helped them get back on their feet. The absentee ballot portal, if you've got any questions about that, Carey's got the website up. You do now, don't you? I think, and as far as any information you need on that, that's pertaining to our November election, presidential election coming up. Carey did a good presentation there on the census. It's very important. We keep saying it, but it really is. Try to get out there. If you haven't done it, get out there and just take a few minutes and fill that out. Any information you possibly would ever want to know, she's got that. I mean, if you have any questions or doubts, please call her and talk to her. These census workers are going door to door. I think she mentioned that, but they are there out there. If you have any questions, contact her. Contact your sheriff's department. If you have any doubt, they come up and knock on your door on Saturday, because these people they're well marked. They have their badges. They got their little satchels they carry, suitcases, whatever, that's got the name. So they're going to, it's not going to be, shouldn't be any doubt whether they're a census worker or not. Of course, we've got till September the 30th, which is just around the corner here. We don't have much, and we're at 53.5%, which Georgia right now overall is at 61.4%. So we're still behind. We still need to get some people out there and try to take care of this. COVID testing, we're still doing this downstairs here on Wednesday. Yesterday there was a lot of people went through there. They're on Mondays and Tuesdays now. They're in Catoosa County. They're at Ringo United Methodist Church. It's on Nashville Street in Ringo. So if you happen to be shopping in Chattanooga or whatever, want to go down by there, it's still free of charge. You don't have to get out of the car. Just the same, fill out just a small form, same process. And like I said, it don't cost you anything at all. And and also the results. Now they're turning them back. I think in a maximum of 48 hours. Most people 24 hours, but about 40. They've changed companies. The lab company that's doing the testing. Tuesday, they're in Walker County. They're at the Chattanooga Valley Nazarene Church. That's on Chattanooga Valley Road in Flintstone. And they're also there Friday. And all hours on all the sites are from 9 till 12. And then they take a break, 30-minute break. They come back at 12:30 and go to 4:30. So they're all day on these days. And I'm not sure where they're going to be this next Saturday, but one Saturday a week they alternate counties, and they will be. Do you get that information? Can you print that?
I will find it.
Well, that or they can call. They can call our 657-6181. That's our health department. They can call that number, and they can tell them where if you can't do it any other day but Saturday, there is somewhere here in our 3 counties that you can go and be tested. So that's a good thing. They're trying to make it more convenient for you. And like I said, it's just a drive-up thing. You don't have to give out a lot of information or anything. That's real simple. Don't take a lot of time. Okay, I'll move into our talking, our report, our COVID-19 report. Numbers are not going down. We went from 225 to 257 in Dade County, positive tests. We've had 49 confirmed cases in the last 14 days. That's 49 confirmed cases in Dade County in the last 2 weeks. Last week we were at like 31 or 36 or something like that. So we're up to 49 now in 14 days. Excuse me. We've had 4 deaths, and we've got 19 hospitalizations right now. 19 people have been hospitalized in Dade County. That's from Dade County. Walker County, they were at 1,179 last week. They're up to 1,364 as we speak. Now, listen to this. They've had 288 positive tests come back in the last 14 days. That's a lot of people. Of course, Walker County is a lot larger than us. There's a lot more people over there, but still, that's a lot of positive tests there in 2 weeks. Catoosa County, they went from 967 to 1,054 in Catoosa County. They've had 157 in the last 2 weeks come back. Chattooga County, they went from 649 to 686. They've had 77 in the last 2 weeks come back positive. Whitfield County, a lot larger than Dade, but they went from 4,177 last week to 4,344, and they've had 303 people test positive in the last 2 weeks. Gordon County, they went from 1,621 to 1,720 in Gordon County. They've had 165 in the last 2 weeks test positive. Floyd County, another county that's a lot, population-wise, a lot larger than ours, but they are close to us. A lot of people commute there and back. You've got children there in college. But Floyd County went from 2,560 to 2,805. And in 2 weeks' time, they had 424 people test positive in Floyd County. So far in Georgia, we've got 2,426 unknown counties that haven't been matched. The addresses haven't been matched to counties. And we've had 6,419 deaths. That's up from 6,128 a week ago. In Georgia, totally, we've had 26,884 hospitalizations. In Tennessee, we've got 177,087 confirmed cases in the state of Tennessee. That's up from 166,587 in Tennessee. And Hamilton County, which is our neighbor here, last week they had 9,878 cases, And as we speak today, they have 10,237 cases. It's in Hamilton County. Right now, they have 612 active cases. They've had 8,162 recovered out of that 10,237. They've also had 85 deaths. Marion County, they went from 484 to 560. They've got 87 active cases right now as we speak. They've had 375 recoveries and 7 deaths. Grundy County, they went from 188 to 227. They have 38 active cases with 155 recoveries and 5 deaths. Sequatchie County, they went from 205 to 242. They have 37 active cases with 173 recoveries with 3 deaths. Meigs County, they went from 216 to 239 in a week. They have 33 active cases, 172 recoveries, and 3 deaths. Bradley County, they went from 3,121 last week to 3,296 in Bradley County. They have 169 active cases today as we speak, with 2,582 recoveries out of that 3,296. They've also had 16 deaths. Let's see here now. Alabama, let's move down to Jackson County. Jackson County, they went from 1,338 positive cases to 1,391. They've had eight deaths, and so far in 14 days, they've had 85 positive cases in the last 2 weeks. DeKalb County, they went from 2,128 to 2,175 in 1 week. They've had 17 deaths, and they've had 70 cases reported, positive cases in the last 14 days. So things are, they're still going up. Don't let your guard down. I keep saying that, but it's just the way it is, and try to keep wearing your mask when you're at church. A lot of churches now are starting back full. We've got a notification at our church. We've been down all this time. The Methodist Church, we're going to go back this next Sunday, back to normal, or well, as normal as we can be. Still have to wear the face mask. We're going to social distance. A lot of churches are doing that right now, so just be careful. We've got our football games going on, some of our sports starting back. Just don't let your guard down. I mean, it's just kind of a way of life right now. Just accept it, and this is really pretty close to the only way we've got right now to directly battling this thing. So my number is 667-8999-423. You can call me anytime if you've got any questions about anything pertaining to county government or anything else that I can help you with, and anything else that actually you need to know pertaining to this broadcast or whatever, or even county government. Go to the website. Carey does a good job. She keeps things up, tries to keep it up almost hourly, really. So, and we'll be back next Thursday at 3 o'clock, or as I always say, sooner if we need to be. So, again, my number is 667-8999, area code 423, and I do appreciate it.